What's going on, everybody? It's Sunday, Big Fish Deal 7. I'm in my hotel room, actually just making this video a day late, $1 short. I was waiting to get more material, but I want to talk to you about cichlids in general, not just African cichlids. What I'm talking to you today about is the largest cichlid in the world. So whether you're keeping discus, angels, South American, Central American, African, it doesn't matter. This is the largest cichlid in the world. Oh, and I may have a special guest, so you might want to stay. So the special guest just happens to be, oh, that's right. KG Tropicals is in the house. Now, whether you've known him from Tank Talk, whether you've known him for his massive YouTube channel, whether you've known him for disappearing off the face of the earth and then reappearing with some amazing 10 Things You Need to Know series, this dude is here to talk today about the largest cichlid in the world. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, sure. We're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
He is in my room. That is kind of awkward, but we're going to deal with it. So I'm going to ask him a few questions, and we're going to put him on the spot a little bit. But the idea is for everyone to understand that whether you've sold fish from a store, whether you've kept fish all your life, whether you're just getting into it, or you're a YouTube fish person, there are fish and details and things about these fish that you may not know. Before we get to the largest cichlid in the world, because I'm not going to go through a top 10 list, maybe that's something you could do.
Copycat.
All of the time, I deal with the same exact thing. Hey Joe, when you're going to keep real cichlids? African cichlids are feeder fish. Do you ever get that?
All the time. Yes, absolutely.
Wolf cichlid, doveye, they're vicious, keep peacock bass, go crazy. I get it. I'm sure you get it.
They're awesome fish. All of them are. I mean, I love the monster cichlids, but I mean, it's a completely different world. So I love them. I've kept them in the past, but you know, again, I'm repeating myself. It's a different world than what we have been doing for years.
Whole different world. Never kept them. Don't care to keep them because of a few reasons. I don't have the housing. I don't just want one fish in there. So I'm willing to take the heat from guys that maybe are a little jealous of African cichlids. So if you find yourself slightly jealous of African cichlids, that's okay. We're here for you. We have channels that really cater to African cichlids and to a lot of other fish now too.
Try to get into everything.
No, that's good. So if you don't know, which seriously, if you're watching this channel, you probably know KG Tropicals, click the subscribe button. I'll post one of the 10 Dilios up here because honestly, I'm gonna say this is kind of crappy, but I think it's some of your best videos because I watched some videos, old school, then we kind of just started doing our own thing, but your new 10, especially with bringing in the better 3/4 of your life into these videos. And if you watch the beta top 10, because she's a little passionate, but real quick before we get into that, what inspired the 10 things you need to know type deal?
3 hours later.
I was on my way to work one day, as simple as that, and I'm sitting here thinking, we need to do a video together, like this. I was thinking how much fun it would be to do a video together. She was very inspired to get into YouTube after the aquatic experience. And I said, I'm thinking, how can we do a video together? And I came up with this idea of, well, we can go back and forth. And then I said, well, we're going to have to come up with 10 things to go back and forth. I'll do 5, she does 5. We can do and all of a sudden it just morphed into what it is. And then I started thinking, well, we can do green screen. I can put this. The ideas just went absolutely crazy. And then by the time I got home from work that day, I had 56 topics that we could do. So yeah, I mean, it was one of those things. When I told her about it, when I got home, she was like, that sounds like fun. She wasn't as excited as I was, but oh boy, she is now.
So
2 jobs at the same time. That's what I was doing that day.
It's a pain. So that's some history. You got to check it out. But on the topic of the largest cichlid in the world, I want to give you some details about it. But first, I'm going to tell you what it is. And I know its common name. So the common name is emperor cichlid or giant cichlid. Now the scientific name, which will be in the description, is the Boulengerochromis Microlepis. It's a monster. What do you know without, because I had to do some research. I had this idea about giant cichlids because somebody kept pinning me on Facebook and about keeping baby fish. But it turns out that the world's largest cichlid is an African cichlid. Peacock bass, doveye, wolf cichlid. You guys are cool, but African cichlids are cooler. From Lake Tanganyika, outside of that, what do you know about that fish?
I know very little about it. In fact, I did not even know that it was the biggest cichlid until you just told me about 20 minutes ago.
That is true, because he was like, wait, the
Yeah.
biggest African cichlid? And I said, no, the biggest cichlid in general. Now, the data, there may be new science that just came out 30 minutes ago that may prove that wrong. But sorry to take that thunder. What do you know other than...
I've always known it to be the biggest African cichlid. That's what I always thought. Didn't realize it was the oldest cichlid or the biggest cichlid period. I've known it to be probably number one on my Holy Grail list. I've never seen one in person. I've never seen one for sale. Mm-hmm. So how do you know anything about it if you can't, get it and mess with it and raise one? Mm-hmm. I do know, and I've said this in my videos, if I was ever to come across one, it would be mine. It would be instantaneous. It would be mine. I've got a 240 gallon, all for it. And it would be then there by himself, and I'd be okay with that. I mean, I would absolutely get one. But that's literally all I know about it, is that I really want one.
Yeah, well, everybody that's going to watch this video is now going to want one. But I'm going to give you some information from somebody that actually keeps this fish currently. And I'm also going to give you information regarding its natural habitat, which you can find in a lot of Lake Tanganyika books. Cichlid Press does a great job. There's also a book out. I don't know the guy's name, but literally the giant cichlid is on the front, mouth open, yellow with blue spots. But the crazy part is, which I like what you said, you can only keep this fish. So all of the Central and South American giant cichlid keepers that talk trash about Africans, that's fine, but we have a cichlid that is the biggest and has to be kept very similarly. You cannot keep anything. From Dave Hale, Something Fishy in Ohio, I'm going to show you some clips of his actual emperor cichlid in his aquarium in the basement of his store. So if you get a chance, go check it out. I had the pleasure of getting to see this fish.
Good job.
Hold on. I had the pleasure of seeing this fish in person, and it's big. It's not going to be the 36 inches a male can get or the 30 inches a female can get, but it's pretty dang close. And some fishermen in Tanganyika have said that the fish is bigger than that. And so check out this clip of his monster freaking fish. So that's captivity. Here are some things that Dave Hale said. One, he's watched that fish eat some crazy freaking things. When I say eat, I mean whole. I also, if you check it out on YouTube, you can type in fish attacks vacuum. He's got a video of him rolling around a very expensive vacuum and the fish attacking the glass,
nice,
trying to get crazy. It has drawn blood from him. It has wanted to take fingers. He can't keep anything else. He's kept this multiple times, but here's the crazy part. It's not available a lot in the hobby because it's hard to breed. In the wild, I don't know if you know this, in the wild, once they breed, that's it.
Oh.
The female dies.
I did not know that.
Just that's it, done. Because
the female dies?
Yes. So
wow,
has about 2,000 fry in the mouth, releases them, mouth brooder, doing the whole deal, and then they watch. The female will watch, and then what happens is she goes to the wayside because of starvation.
Okay. That's sad.
No, it really is sad when you think about it. But this is the wild. So in captivity, it's really hard for people to figure out how they're doing it, because with 2,000 fry, not many people have the space to have this fish, let alone have it in a breeding area because of where it lives in Tanganyika. Wide open, rocky kind of sediment, bigger boulders, open water. They're not doing the whole digging, and I'll show you what I'm talking about, because the wonderful and very famous, none other than the Pam Chin, has allowed me to use some of her footage of diving in Lake Tanganyika, where this fish thrives. Cool freaking footage. What did you think of seeing this fish swim around like that?
Well, I didn't watch the video, Jeff.
Sucker! Yes, he did not watch the video. However, he's going to see it here in a few moments, but it is absolutely wild. The reason why I wanted KG Tropicals to be in this video is because I want folks to understand it doesn't matter if you sold fish, had a business, you're thriving on YouTube with an amazing channel, and you're doing so many things in a hobby, there are still some things we don't know. And we have to continue pushing our mental capacity to understand these fish. Now, what I don't want to happen is for you to go run out and say, I need to get this fish because I need this fish. It's so cool. It is cool. But we also have to understand that there are requirements. Most don't breed in captivity, and if you can find it, which I believe there's one person, they don't know how it's happening, because this fish, by this person, was told to Dave Hale that the fish would try to eat the birds that would come down by like the little pond that the guy had. So the fish is not, it's not your typical cichlid. It's gonna require massive amounts of water. You're not gonna keep anything else with it. It's gonna be death and destruction. And yes, while it's a freaking cool fish, it is amazing to know that this is still in the wild. It's not endangered and it's thriving, but we need to know about these things because, well, now we can, as African cichlid keepers, protect ourselves against the bullies in the bigger fish keeping world, so to speak. The monster fish keepers have an amazing place in what they do. It's tough for me to look at just keeping a singular fish. I can't do it. I'm sure you talk about Oscars and stuff.
Yeah.
But how do you do it? How?
I mean, I don't know. I'm a lot older than you, so that might have something to do with it. But you know, I've had a single fish tank before. I do like a lot of movement, but I'm kind of thinking about maybe doing not the Emperor, but something. I mean, like Steve Poland's tank with that Umbi. Forget about it. I mean, that thing looks good. And then Dovai and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. There's something about it. And I've got a 240 gallon that's empty. I mean, I don't know. But I'm actually thinking about doing 6 Oscars in that. But I'm not against the one fish tank. It is a lot more boring than the Africans, though.
No, it's...
But it's cool. Depending on the fish, it's cool.
Imagine if a sporting event was played with just one person. Just one. Just the whole time. It's really... I have nothing against it. Like you said, Steve Poland. I actually talked to Steve about it. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how he did it, because he was so in love with Dragon Bloods. And then he just... Poof. Mm-hmm. One singular fish in an amazingly scaped tank. and he loves it. It's like it becomes a different style of pet, and I think that's really cool. So understand that there are fish you've never heard about, and if you have heard about that fish, did you know those details that were given to you? Did you understand that it dies after it has babies? Like this mother is dying of starvation to protect the babies in hopes that the babies are large enough to survive on its own. So let me know in the comments. Do the stuff you do to continue making this channel relevant. Like this guy's channel if you haven't already. Check out the 10 things you need to know about anything you need to know fish keeping. I mean, he had what, 80 something you said? Topics written down, or 50 something?
56.
56.
It's probably 80 now though, because I've been adding to it.
And if you've got a suggestion, go in one of the comments and hit it up, but don't do it like a day before they launch a video. Give them something that you hope to see in a month or two. That'll help give them an idea of what to film, because you may think it takes 10, 15 minutes to do it, but it takes hours at times. So I appreciate what you do. If you're looking for food, check out northfinusa.com. Go check out a local fish club, society, organization. Big Fish Deal 7 is run by the Capital Cichlid Association. You've got so many. They're in your backyard, and sometimes you have to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to hang out with people you enjoy being around and talking about fish, maybe once every 3 months with people that understand you, because we understand you. So now you're gonna end the video like I end the videos. Do you know how I end the videos?
How?